The reason we are here is to discuss the top 3 ways Pinnacle Series can increase efficiency within your firm. It is no secret that technology is growing and changing faster than ever. You finally got all 200 staff members moved to Revit 2023, and somehow Autodesk has announced their rollout dates for 2025. Or maybe you hired a bunch of new employees and you need to get them onboarded and into production work as soon as possible. Regardless of your exact challenges, just know your firm is not the only one. Our CSMs are on the front lines with our customers who face similar challenges. They work hand in hand to strategize on the best direction forward in finding solutions to those challenges. Hannah and Katie are here today to help talk through just some of the ways they're helping clients combat inefficiencies and meet goals. Katie, I'd like to start with you today. What would you say is the first step an organization should take to tackle the inefficiencies they're facing within their own firm?
Hi, everyone. Absolutely, Danny. Before you can actually implement a solution to increase efficiency, you first really need to understand why staff are inefficient or unproductive in the first place. It's really about getting to the root of the challenges they're facing that are contributing to project delays. So, for example, do you have a younger workforce that simply doesn't have enough experience or training yet? Or do you have maybe an older workforce who refuses to adopt newer, more efficient technologies because, that's the way I've always done it? Or maybe your staff are constantly plagued by too many resources or too many different places to look for information where they're never really provided with direct or accurate answers to get their work done. Too many places to go for information can be incredibly overwhelming and easily cause delays. So really understanding the challenges themselves is the first step in becoming more efficient in daily tasks.
And for our leaders and stakeholders joining us today, you may not have clear insight into the challenges Katie mentioned. However, you may be noticing a decrease in project performance. More deadlines are being missed or response times have kept increasing. At the end of the day, these metrics are affecting your firm's profit, and this is why it's important to really dig deeper into what's causing KPIs to be missed.
One of the things you can look at is current employee retention. Over the last few years, getting good talent inside your organization and keeping them there has been quite a challenge in the AEC community. Think about your staff, your architects, your engineers, designers. They are your most important resources. So you need to invest in them. But why is it so hard now? What's changed over the last 5 to 10 years? Well, for obvious reasons, the pandemic definitely caused a huge shift in the workplace with a lot of people working remotely or, at least in a hybrid situation. So working from home definitely has its pros and cons, but when you work from home, loyalties are a bit different. Engagements are different. So without that in-person engagement on the job, it can be a challenge to, keep your staff loyal and committed to your organization's goals. Price increases, inflation, et cetera, all that's causing people to really rethink their priorities in life and for their families, rethinking compensation packages and what makes most to them, what matters most to them is often leading people to leave their jobs. Here's a chart I actually found that shows how generations in the workforce are drastically changing. You can see here that the millennials and the Gen Z sections of the chart are really making up about 40% of the workforce now. That's a big portion of the overall workforce. These individuals have different thoughts and ways of thinking about compensation, about promotions and opportunities for promotions, work-life balance, office culture, et cetera. All those thoughts are a little different from what they've been in the past with the baby boomers and Gen X generations. A big part of the problem, what we're seeing in the AEC space, is really around learning and development. These generations want access to more training, access to more opportunities to further their careers. Millennials appreciate remote work and flexible schedules. They want to be assessed not so much for, those office hours, but really for their results. And the Gen Z workers, really place a great emphasis on purpose-driven work and good work-life balance. They value growth and promotion opportunities. It's these demands that are causing challenges for the overall business leaders to be able to provide and nurture those wishes. So it really needs to be part of the conversation when you're talking about inefficiencies. When reviewing within your own organization, you really need to consider, what is keeping my staff motivated? What is it going to take to keep them here and therefore productive for long-term success for your organization? Countless studies claim both millennials and Gen Zers are the most job hopping generations ever. Yet these individuals are ready to work as long as they have employers that provide them with work-life balance, a sense of job meaningfulness, and those growth opportunities.
So once an organization recognizes their inefficiencies and wants to make improvements, what should they do next?
Well, once an organization understands the challenges that staff are facing and recognizes the need for a learning strategy, the first thing they want to do is make that investment into Pinnacle. But, really what they'll want to do is build a committee and set clear expectations on their responsibilities. Without effective communication, team members may be unsure of the responsibilities or the specifics of their task, leading to delays in task completion. Therefore, it is imperative to construct a committee that pulls together individuals from an array of departments to keep firms and staff's best interests top of mind. In an ideal world, this committee would include human resources, learning and development, marketing, IT, your BIM, CAD, or VDC managers, discipline leaders, and even your SMEs. Each player will bring a special perspective to the table, which really allows the committee to keep in mind how these changes will affect all staff now and in the future. It's important to add that this committee may continue to evolve over time. As rollouts begin and staff provide their feedback, any strategy to improve efficiency is not a one-and-done solution.
Hannah, can you share an example of how role clarification and expectations led to improved efficiency on a project?
Of course. One client that comes top of mind has a committee that is comprised of a learning development manager, a BIM manager, and their department heads. From a day-to-day perspective, learning and development and HR own Pinnacle Series, which means they handle the administrative functions of the platform. They set timelines for their annual and project trainings, and they really develop those training programs. During a recent committee meeting, the VP of Facilities brought to the team's attention the amount of time being spent in retraining their new hires. While their onboarding process is well established, they were struggling with providing a training program that really met the needs for their new hires that may be very green or they're more senior to the industry. This helped them identify that L&D was managing the training program but lacked the technical expertise to create resources to really improve their onboarding process. This is when the BIM manager got involved because he understands the skills required to accomplish the firm's project, and he also has insight into the specific pain points that the VP of Facilities has been feeling. Really having all these individuals together on a regular basis, my client was able to quickly have their BIM manager update the training resources, L&D developed a timeline for retraining for those new hires, and the VP of Facilities provided a solution to his department in a quick, timely manner.
Wow, Hannah, that is just fantastic. Katie, what about for a major account? Does this differ across the size of the organization?
To some degree, but mostly no. Poor communication can really cause issues in any department or discipline, no matter the organization size. Just like poor communication on a job site can cause, significant delays to project completion or even injuries, lack of clearly defined roles and responsibilities when building a team to implement and roll out the new solution can cause misaligned expectations, missed deadlines, resource allocation issues, information silos, and even conflict and damaged relationships. So for example, if your stakeholders don't communicate effectively, they may have a different understanding than the BIM or VDC manager on project goals, timelines, and deliverables. This misalignment can cause significant delays as work may need to be redone or adjusted to meet actual requirements. And when stakeholders don't communicate their expectations effectively, simple decision-making processes can now become slow and cumbersome. This can hold up critical project milestones and delay progress of implementing the solutions you're seeking to be more efficient in the first place. I also want to note that miscommunication about resource needs and availability can also lead to shortages or inefficient use of resources, therefore slowing down project execution. I see so often that staff are unable to start their training for the simple fact that they don't have access to the software tools needed to start that upskilling. Last, poor communication often results in information being siloed within different teams or departments. It's really this lack of information sharing that can lead to duplicated work, missed opportunities for collaboration, and really overall project inefficiencies. So to mitigate these problems, stakeholders really need to invest in and build a diverse team that has clear and open communication channels and uses a platform like Pinnacle Series to centralize a location for information sharing. We also recommend things like regular status updates, stakeholder meetings, and clear documentation of project milestones to really help prevent conflict and project delays caused by poor communication.
Excellent. So now we know we must build a team of the right people and some best practices to do that, as well as the importance of providing clear communication on expectations and resources. What would you say is the next step in helping organizations increase efficiency?
That's a great question, Danny. Now that a committee is in place, the real work begins by developing a clear list of current processes, available resources, and really documenting your challenges. A roadmap can be created to help prioritize where to start. For example, some organizations may realize that they need to update CAD standards or templates that no longer align with the firm. First, you'll need to prioritize what you're working on and set clear expectations for the desired result. You'll need to build a team and dig into whether you need to start from scratch or if you could build from existing resources. If resources already exist, where are they? Why doesn't the current location work well? And where can we make the biggest impact for change and improvement? During the entire process from planning to execution, communication to staff is essential to keep everyone up to speed on why these changes are happening. How does this affect day-to-day operations? Where are these processes located? With so many moving parts, it's important to keep information easily accessible for staff. Firms will often have 1 to 2 training sessions and then the belief that everyone is on the same page, when in reality, the training may have been successful in the moment, but when staff get back to their desk, they really just fall back into old habits or continue to ask for help from others. By leveraging the features or resources available in a platform like Pinnacle Series, management can keep an open door of collaboration and discussion on these changes, provide an organized list of resources for staff to easily locate, and provide staff with additional tools such as software plugins that can really assist staff in those projects.
Yeah, Hannah, that's a really great point. We all learn differently, right? With access to a platform that provides multiple training options for various learning preferences, organizations can better target the needs of their employees for better and longer retention. Maybe I'm a visual learner. In short, how-to videos help me the most. Maybe I prefer to follow the steps outlined in a document with data sets and instructions to learn while in the software. Or maybe I learn best watching a subject matter expert live and in real time. No matter how we learn, we need to ensure that we are reinforcing the new process and changing those bad habits. For example, if I, complete my training just to check the box that it's done and then go back to my desk and do the same 10 things I did before training, I didn't learn anything new. And my employer lost money invested to help me upskill. I need resources that will help me change my habits and apply what I learned during my training to the projects I'm actually working on.
Wow, you both raised some very good points. Can you share what organizations are supposed to do when staff need training? Time's limited. Their managers have no clue where they should even start.
Absolutely. We hear all the time that organizations just don't have time for training, that their staff need to be billable. But customer success managers like Hannah and myself will make the argument all day that if you invest in training sooner, you're going to save on rework and a long laundry list of issues later. This is going to naturally lead to increased efficiency. This is one of the reasons why Pinnacle Series actually comes with an option to assess a user's knowledge of the software tools they use, sometimes even before they're hired. So after completing the assessment, the employee is automatically enrolled into training courses specific to the skills gaps identified in the knowledge assessment. This is going to reduce training time because the employee is only focusing on topics they need training on, and it saves the manager time because they don't have to guess what training their staff needs or spend time going through the process of actually enrolling them. It's all automated. Organizations can then track the progress of these completions and use the data to better align employees to projects.
Katie, can you share an example of how this type of performance tracking can benefit long-term goals?
Definitely. This is an example of one of my clients. This is real data where they are actually taking a more proactive approach through Pinnacle Series and the knowledge assessments to being project ready rather than scrambling and being reactive, when a bid is won. So through Power BI dashboard that they've created, you can clearly see that the data is easy to read and absorb. I selected the specific Revit skills that are going to be required for this project. And by analyzing individual skill sets through that data knowledge assessment, I'm able to appropriately place people on this project. I can see here that 2 out of the 3 scored expert level within their skill, within their Revit knowledge. 1 person actually scored below average. So 2 things are going to happen as a result of this. The individual that scored below average is not going to be on this project. That would be setting them up to fail. They're going to pull in a different person who has the Revit skill sets that thoroughly match this project with the other 2. That individual is also going to be enrolled into specific training to upskill in those areas so that they're project ready the next time. They're really leveraging the data and information to empower their employees and not disciplining them for not knowing something, but making sure that they have the skills and knowledge the next time they're on a project.
Thanks, Katie and Hannah, for your insights on how organizations can increase efficiency. During our webinar today, we discussed locating the right people to develop a committee, the importance of providing an open door of communication regarding changes, and keeping current staff sharp with up-to-date training and resources. Are there any additional tips you would like to provide today?
Yes, really, while our conversation today was primarily focused on identifying and addressing the inefficiencies from our internal perspective, Pinnacle Series is not a platform that we just simply sell to clients and then just hope for the best. Really, with the subscription of Pinnacle Series, you have a customer success manager. We partner with clients throughout the lifetime of your subscription. This begins at implementation, where we not only configure the platform for that go live, but we also get to the root of clients' pain points. We develop a roadmap to really overcome those challenges by setting milestones for the goals that we want to work on, and then ultimately work on achieving. Following this milestone process, CSMs continue to work from a consultative approach to verify utilizations being met, staff understand the purpose of Pinnacle Series and how to access it. We also clearly define what's expected from staff, and then ongoing projects are being completed in a timely fashion.
And I would like to add, to just expand on that a little bit more than what Hannah just shared. We are very proud of the work we do in customer success here at Eagle Point Software and very dedicated to our customers. And as a result, these are just some of the benefits our clients have shared with us that they're gaining from having a subscription to Pinnacle. I spoke a few times today, on how important it is to hire good, knowledgeable staff, but also how important it is to take measures that ensure you're retaining that knowledge within your organization. Our solution is actually helping organizations not only attract top talent, but they're retaining those individuals by recognizing they have career goals and they're investing in them. Multiple studies have shown that investments in training and development have a direct effect on increased profits and productivity. So now that we've talked about the top 3 ways to increase efficiency with Pinnacle Series, let's go ahead and give you an overview of what the solution looks like. First and foremost, the Pinnacle Series platform is a browser-based solution. This means that you can access the content within the platform anywhere you have internet access. It also means unlimited storage in the cloud. So it's backended by Microsoft Windows Azure. You have the capability to upload any custom content you have. It's unlimited storage, and you can access all of that material, whether you're online or you can download content and view it completely offline as well. Large organizations that have, lots of people that may come and go from the organization, we have the ability to sync with Active Directory. We also have the ability to set up single sign-on. So one less password people need to remember at the end of the day is also really nice. So just a quick tour here. Everything that you're seeing on my screen is completely customizable. You can add your own images, your own logos, your colors. Widgets can be moved around. It can really look and feel just about how you want it to look for that internal trusted solution. I have a search engine where I can run a quick search on what I'm looking for. The courses I'm enrolled into are going to display nicely for me at the top. I could have browsed for training and resources and self-enrolled, or a manager could have enrolled me into any of these courses. I also have this area here for collaborations. So one of the issues we talked about was lack of communication. By leveraging a work group, you're directing people right to the resources they need. So maybe I have a big flood of new hires starting, and I need to centralize a location for all the resources they need to get up and running as quickly as possible. Placing all those resources in a work group is going to centralize it for them. Or maybe you have a specific training coming up and you don't want people searching or spending time digging through lots and lots of resources. Centralize that with a work group. They can quickly and easily access it. We also have the ability to embed some quick links over here on the left-hand side. So maybe you want to go ahead and navigate to your own LMS or your own intranet. We want to complement those other platforms, not compete them. Scrolling down a little bit, we have access to a breadth of content. So there is an option to customize your own. This is just an example of ways that you can build out your own custom libraries. So if you have employees that have different needs, maybe you're a multidiscipline organization with architects and engineers, how do I build the platform so that I can quickly find what's relevant to me? Customer success can help you build these out. You can also see down here that there is a lot of content that comes with this platform. Autodesk is definitely our lengthiest and most robust library, but we do have other titles such as Adobe, Microsoft, Bentley, Bluebeam, even business and management skills for those in maybe human resources or need a little bit more of those soft skills. We have the ability to recommend training based on role or discipline, giving guidance into the opportunities they have. How do I go from a BIM coordinator to a BIM manager? How do I get to a director level? We can recommend training to help them get there and upskill in their own time to meet their own career goals. We also have the ability to import external learning records. Maybe you have individuals who are planning on attending some sessions at Autodesk University this year. You can go ahead and upload a record and get credit for that if that's something your organization wanted to track. Maybe you actually went to a class somewhere off-site and you wanted to upload that. We also have an embedded live event calendar. This is an interactive calendar that's going to allow you to provide a blended learning experience for users. So again, maybe I'm somebody who watches videos and goes through exercises, and that's excellent. That's a great way for me to learn. But again, maybe I'm an individual who learns best by watching a subject matter expert actually go through the motions. You can assign training courses, follow it up with a live event, and really provide them that blended learning experience. These are live events that our internal subject matter experts host on a quarterly basis, but you can also incorporate your own live training events. I also wanted to mention we have some plugins for your Autodesk tools. So as you're being guided through workflows and actually working in Autodesk products, you can very easily get access to training and resources while you're in your project work.